Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Dr. Joshua Fredenburg, and I'm a national speaker, author, and president of the Circle of Change Leadership Conference. For the past 15 years, I've been blessed with the opportunity to travel to different universities and organizations, especially in programs that revolve around leadership, diversity and inclusion, student success, and career readiness. Approximately 15 years ago, I had the wonderful opportunity to serve as a substitute teacher in the LA Unified School District. Now, during this time, there was a lot of racial tension that was going on between two cultural groups in the city of Los Angeles. And ultimately, because I was a Black man, not only was I treated unfairly, not only did I have people that I was dating say they would never marry a Black man because of the color of my skin, but literally I had to really watch for my life, because during this time, there was so much hatred and so much tension that there were shootings going on of innocent Black men that were driving on the freeway. As time prolonged and all these issues were going on, I really came to a place where not only was I frustrated, not only was I irritated, not only was I hurt, and not only was I in fear for my life, to be quite honest with you, but literally during this time, I started to have a jaded perspective about certain groups of people. In essence, as much diversity training as I had, as much training that I had about respecting people and giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, I allowed this jaded perspective to start creeping into my heart, because I had people that were treating me unfairly because of the color of my skin. Ironically, about 3 months into this entire racial tension that was going on in Southern California, I was given the opportunity to be the substitute teacher of a band class. And shockingly, 85% of my class came from this particular culture that had showed me so much disrespect leading up to this moment. And as I came into the classroom, I was getting ready to begin the school years. I was getting ready to empower these students for success. I had to make a very important decision. In essence, I had to have what I call a courageous conversation, because I had two decisions to make. The first decision was this: I can hold on to this hate, I can hold on to this anger, I can hold on to this pain, and I can release it on these kids that never did nothing to me and guaranteed they fail because I was a teacher. I could have done that. But number two, what I could do is I could release the pain, I could release the frustration, I could release the jaded experiences and perspectives that I had because of how I was treated unfairly. Let it go, give these students the benefit of the doubt, empower them, and help them to reach their fullest potential. I had two decisions to make. Thankfully, because of the training that I had in college, because of the diversity training that I had, I decided to let it go. I decided to eradicate these feelings. I decided to let go of these frustration. I decided to let go of all this pain, and I embraced these students. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Although there were people that looked just like them that hurt me and had me feel a certain type of way, I did not allow that to affect me on how I treated them. And so I began to build relationships. We began to work with each other. I began to empower them. And ultimately, we had great success. Not only did the students do amazing work as seniors on their campus, but we did a Unity Gospel Fest. We actually had a documentary that was completed. We went on the local radio station. We had kids in the classroom that said, based on the teaching in this class, I'm now going to respect my mother. We had students that were inspired to go and pursue higher education. And more importantly, we had in-depth and deep conversations about race, about diversity, and about inclusion. And at the end of the day, I learned something really powerful. And the lesson that I learned from this experience is this: that if we're going to eradicate racism, if we're going to get rid of prejudice, if we're going to get rid of negative experiences and unconscious biases that affect how others treat certain groups of people, then the first thing we're going to have to do before we engage in a courageous conversation is we're going to have a courageous conversation with ourselves. And we're going to have to look within and ask ourselves a simple question: is there anything in us that we need to eradicate, that we need to get rid of before we come to the table and start to have the courageous conversation that are necessary in order to become more effective at collaborating, working, serving, and respecting people that are ultimately different from us with an inclusive lens of leadership? This is the lesson that I was able to learn in my experience. And as you begin to move forward, I want to ask you a simple question. What courageous conversations do you have to have with yourself? What specific things do you need to ask yourself today in order to prepare yourself for the important, courageous conversations that we need to have if we're going to eradicate injustice, if we're going to get rid of all these unconscious biases, if we're going to actually create synergy, create unity, create an inclusive environment, and really create a place where people are respected, where people can be treated the way they deserve to be treated, regardless of their culture and regardless of their background. This is the question that I challenge you to ask yourself. And if you would like to hear more about this presentation, if you'd like to bring this presentation to your college, to your organization, then please feel free to reach out to me anytime. This is just one of many more points and concepts that I talk about as it relates to diversity, inclusion, equity, and more importantly, having the courageous conversations, not only with ourselves, but with others as well. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to working with you soon.